Right now at 6, preparing for a winter wallop.
This morning, I'm declaring a state of emergency.
With the snow, ice, wind, and serious cold all on the way.
A wind chill can make a simple emergency into a life and death situation.
How crews are working to protect the most vulnerable.
And it's just so difficult with the cold.
And what you can do now to protect your home.
If water is moving inside of your pipes, it cannot freeze.
Plus, the latest on how long the snow and the deep freeze could hang on.
Good evening, everyone. We are on Storm Watch this Friday night with a live look from our Wells Fargo sky camera over downtown Portland. 29 degrees with temperatures across our region continuing to fall with cold Arctic air and warm Pacific moisture about to join forces. And thanks for joining us on this Friday. I'm David Molko as we continue at 6 with live team coverage. We're checking in on shelters and warming centers, looking into how crews are getting ready for up to an inch of ice in spots, and talk to the experts on how to look after your home and your health. But first, let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Matt Zaffino. So Matt, walk us through the very latest here.
Hey David, things are unfolding about as we thought they would, at least as of late last night or this morning, with the cold air arriving, but not much snow. That won't happen until tomorrow, so the roads are still in good shape. If you need to get out, get some stuff done, some last minute preps, go to the store, whatever, the roads are okay. Just get some gloves and a hat because it's cold out there. It's 13 in the Dalles right now, and you see the snow on the ground. They had a little bit of light snow. Portland is at 25. Temperature's been dropping about 2 degrees an hour for the last few hours. I just checked our thermometer here at KGW. We're 23 downtown. So yes, the Arctic air has arrived, and as it gets deeper and deeper, we get deeper into it, the temperatures will drop, not just because nighttime is coming on, but because colder air is rolling our way. Now, look at the numbers around the state. It's 10 in Bend. It's single digits in Pendleton, LeGrand, Baker City right behind. And as we slide north into Washington, it's -2 in Spokane, -8 in Pullman. Oh, Cougs, man, that's cold. -8 in Sandpoint, 8 degrees in Bellingham, 14 up in Vancouver, BC. So cold all over the place. We're running 12, 18, 22 degrees colder than we were at this time yesterday in the Portland area. And look, it's not just us. This Arctic air mass extends well back east, much colder than it was 24 hours ago, even in normally cold places like Bozeman and Kalispell, Montana. So what's happening? Well, nothing with precipitation right now until you get to southern Oregon. That's mainly rain until you get farther up into the mountains there. The Arctic air has not arrived there, but it will later on. Blizzard warning in the gorge, ice storm warning south of Albany because it's where we're going to see the significant icing. So if you look at this, we'll be about 14 degrees tomorrow morning. That's when I expect the snow to begin, about 7 a.m. or so. We may mix with sleet for a while. And notice this band of orange and yellow. That's really heavy rain offshore, but that meets the Arctic air, rides over the top, and that'll turn to snow, which is why we're expecting several inches of snow, especially since the snow continues till about 10, 11 o'clock tomorrow night. Look at the pass cameras. This is Government Camp. It's 14 up there. Rare case where Govey is colder than Sandian Pass because the Arctic air hasn't moved that far south yet. So becoming colder and windier as the night wears on. Yes, we get snow, but it's tomorrow, beginning in the morning, about 2 to 4 inches for the metro. Some places may get a bit more, some places a little bit less. We'll keep those totals updated throughout the night tonight and tomorrow. And then a blizzard warning, dangerous wind chill in the gorge and the Cascades, and then that heavy icing from Salem south. We'll show you how much in a bit, David.
Yeah, so glad we have you tracking it all. Thank you, Matt. Our team coverage continues with Blair Best, who is live in downtown Portland, where Multnomah County is now under a state of emergency. Blair?
David, county officials warn that with these cold temperatures we're expecting to see this weekend, it could be severely dangerous for people living in tents. And you add the high winds to all of this, and it could be deadly. I'll add, we've been standing out here all night, and we're just now starting to feel those winds. And yeah, it's really cold. Now this week, county officials people with the county have been handing out safety gear to homeless people all week, yet the city has been removing their camps. Up until today, take a look. On the streets of Portland, staying dry this time of year is no easy feat.
And it's just so difficult with the cold.
This homeless woman prepares for the weekend storm the only way she knows how.
Basically what I do is I layer up in sleeping bags on pallets.
On Friday, inside an empty Gresham Plaza,
This morning, I'm declaring a state of emergency.
Multnomah County officials stressed the importance of safety this weekend, especially for those living outside.
And this winter weather is really going to be deadly.
The severe weather state of emergency starts at 8 p.m. Friday and ends at noon on Tuesday.
This emergency order helps our community provide shelter to everyone who needs it and saves lives.
The county is opening these 6 warming centers Friday night until at least Saturday night. There will be 445 available beds, and the county is prepared to open more if needed.
I want to be clear that no one will be turned away. Our goal with these shelters is making sure that there's a bed, comfort, and support for everyone who lacks a safe, warm, dry place to be.
This week, county outreach teams have been giving homeless people survival gear, including more than 3,000 blankets, 1,500 ponchos, and hundreds of sleeping bags.
And for those living unsheltered, the next few days are especially dangerous.
I've had walking pneumonia for a month, and I can't get rest.
Since she's been on the run from Portland camp removal crews.
I'm moving from Chinatown because rapid response is having us move every couple days.
The city tells KGW they paused all camp removals at noon on Friday. They'll resume once the severe weather emergency order lifts. It's a move the Multnomah County chair supports.
I agree, letting people stay where they are for now, but really so that we can know where people are, we can be doing that outreach, we can be communicating them and encouraging them to come inside.
Yet despite these warnings, some are determined to stick it out on their own.
I might go spend 50 cents to get some hot water so I can make some tea. That's my plan for tonight.
Now, TriMet won't be turning anyone away this weekend. They're going to be offering free rides for people traveling to and from a warming center. And if you see someone who's outside and not dressed for the weather, you can call 211 for a welfare check. Those behind 211 say they're fully staffed and ready to take your call. David.
Yeah, Blair, we appreciate you and the team there sticking it out for us tonight in that cold. You know what? Speaking of TriMet, if you plan to use transit to get around over the next few days, make sure you allow some extra time. While it is likely that trains and buses, yes, they will keep running, many of them will be slower or delayed. Now, in the past, MAX trains have shut down and buses have gotten stuck. It's always a good idea to have a backup plan in mind.
Monitor the forecast, and if you're heading out, go to trimet.org/alerts before you go to check and see if your bus or train may be delayed. Then bundle up before you go out because some of our service may be delayed by this weather. When buses are chained, they can only travel up to 25 miles per hour, and we do prioritize safety over schedules during severe weather events.
Well, TriMet says it is putting down de-icer at the major transit centers, but conditions can still be slick, so be especially careful getting on and off buses and trains. Well, let's bring in John Adams now in Salem. John, it's likely where you are in Point South could see more ice than snow, which could create treacherous conditions really for days. What are you seeing tonight?
Well, David, earlier today at 4 o'clock it was raining. At 5 o'clock it had transitioned to some snow flurries, and most of the flurries have backed off. Maybe a little bit of light drizzle going on right now, but that doesn't mean it's not going to get worse as we head into the overnight hours. Now, earlier today I spoke with Trevor Smith with the City of Salem Public Works, who told us that even though there has been some uncertainty into what exact type of precipitation they will see here in the Salem area, their crew is experienced in dealing with all types of winter conditions. We were even able to take a look this afternoon while they prepped some of their equipment to go out on the roadways.
We've gotten those sanders, those de-icers, and those plows all ready to go. There's 8 of them that are going to be put into service tonight, and they will be, go up and down our snow routes throughout the city.
Well, Smith told us events like this require lots of communication between their meteorologists and their crews on the road because different road treatments are required for different conditions. De-icer, for example, can only be applied at certain times for it to be effective. And the City of Salem is encouraging people to stay home, but if they do have to go out on the roadways and you do see a snow plow or another vehicle treating the road, just give it a lot of room and make sure you stay out of its way as it gets its job done. A good rule of thumb for probably everyone throughout the area tonight, David.
Absolutely. Good to see drivers heeding those warnings tonight, though. Our team coverage continues with Sydney Dorner. Now, Sydney, you heard Matt there. We are headed for the teens, which means pipes can burst. What can folks do right now ahead of it?
Yes, David, I spoke with a plumber earlier today who says it's better safe than sorry when it comes to winterizing your home. He gave us a quick checklist on how to prepare. He says you want to first start off by walking around your house and making sure all of those exterior valves are turned off. Next step is placing bibs on them or foam to keep them insulated. Inside the home, it's good to check for spaces unheated like the garage, attic, or basement. Pipes inside the kitchen and bathroom cabinets are also likely to freeze, so it's helpful to leave them open. If all else fails, simply let water drip from your faucets.
If water is moving inside of your pipes, it cannot freeze or is very unlikely to freeze. So that is something you can do as a little trick, especially in the evening, you know, when the temperatures are really starting to drop.
If your pipes do freeze and cause a leak, it's best to find those valves in your house and shut them off right away, and then go inside and drain your faucets. If you don't have access or can't reach them, you can call your local fire station, who will then shut that water off for you. Sydney Dorner, KGW. Back to you, David.
Thanks, Sydney. Some very practical advice there. Stick with KGW as we cover this winter storm all weekend long. We're going to be out across the metro area and beyond, letting you know about the biggest trouble spots as they happen. Remember, you can always check the KGW app or KGW.com for the very latest forecast. Let's get to your headlines now, starting in southeast Portland, where investigators believe somebody set a car on fire at Commissioners Renee Gonzalez's home. Police say the white Honda Accord was parked in front of the house in Eastmoreland and belongs to somebody in his family. The car was destroyed, but no one was hurt.
Well, the first thing is that we got to make sure my family feels comfort and supported and secure as possible. Second is to make sure we bring justice to those who do this.
As police search for the arsonist this afternoon, Multnomah County's DA came out, Mike Schmidt, condemning what he called an act of political violence. We'll have much more on this incident and the reaction to it. That is coming up at 6:30 on The Story. Passengers of Alaska Flight 1282 have now filed a class action lawsuit against Boeing. They allege the aircraft maker delivered the 737 MAX 9 to Alaska without properly securing the door plug to the airframe or properly securing the bolts and seals. The lawsuit names 6 passengers and a family member as a plaintiff. Their lawyer described what they experienced as a, quote, waking nightmare, waking nightmare as well, after a door plug flew off.
One of our clients said she didn't even know if the cockpit crew was alive. And these are the kinds of thoughts that were going through people's heads.
Yeah, meanwhile, today, the FAA announced that along with its door plug investigation, it's going to audit Boeing's entire 737 MAX 9 production line. All MAX 9s remain grounded nationwide. A group of Oregon House Republicans have proposed a bill that would recriminalize drug use, essentially undoing large parts of Measure 110. Their bill would make possession of hard drugs a Class A misdemeanor with mandated treatment to avoid jail time. It would also ban public drug use. The short session starts next month. A bipartisan group of lawmakers has also introduced committee bills that would make changes to the law, but the details of those have not been finalized or released. Keep you posted there. Our coverage of the inbound winter storm continues with how to protect your health when it comes to ice and snow.
You can overexert with your heart and have chest pain or a heart attack that gets provoked by those activities.
Still ahead, what to look out for and what experts say to do if you're about to take a tumble. Plus, why some local animal lovers are holding a slumber party of sorts for pets who don't have a home. Stay with us.